Good afternoon. I'm Sally Norris from the South Freeport Congregational Church. This is the concluding daily devotional for Earth Day week, and today I am going to share very personally. Because in truth, for the longest time, I did not give Earth Day much attention. I'm from the city, New York City to be precise. Even though I spent summers in Maine in my childhood and have always regarded Maine as my go-to vacation destination, the truth is I've never necessarily given a lot of thought to the natural world. Even today, I can find just as much awe and wonder in the architectural splendor of a tall skyscraper. The stunning skyline of New York comes to mind, as I can in the waters and mountains and forest. And perhaps even more than this, I thought that Earth Day was just an easy way for people of economic and educational privilege to get involved in social justice, without dealing with what I considered to be the more important questions: addressing poverty, addressing racism against African Americans, addressing anti-Semitism, addressing exclusion of our LGBTQ brothers and sisters, addressing economic inequality, addressing all those injustices that profoundly diminish the lives of so many people. I felt that the sole priority was to build what Martin Luther King Jr. called the beloved community, creating a loving community of all God's people and breaking down the barriers of injustice and hate that divide us. I have always seen this as the imperative that Jesus gives me as a Christian, and I still do feel this very, very strongly. Then in 2008, God called me to a ministry on Cape Cod. I discovered the poetry of Mary Oliver. I listened to the symphony of birdsong in the morning. I walked by Cape Cod Bay at dusk at low tide. I let my eyes take in the colors of all the gardens. I walked on Nauset Beach in the presence of the pulse and sound of the ocean. I learned about Native American creation spirituality from the Wampanoag and Mashpee, and I would like to do the same from the Wabanaki here in Maine. I experienced nature as a gift of healing to the body, mind, and spirit, as a way to encounter the purity of God's peace. And through study and conversation with creation care experts, I learned that the effects of climate change would be greatest on those who live on the margins, in particular the poor, the homeless, the hungry. And I realized that so many who live in the poverty of rundown neighborhoods in the cities are denied access to the healing power of nature. Images of the earth and nature infuse the Bible. Jesus used natural images in his teaching. So what do I see as our Christian imperative, especially in this time of wrenching pandemic, when we are given an opportunity to truly assess and reassess how we live as God's people? It is this: building the beloved community of the great diversity of God's people and caring for and preserving God's beautiful earth so that it can sustain and heal every person who lives on the earth. Hear these words from the Bible, from the first chapter in Genesis. Then God said, "Let the earth put forth vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees of every kind on earth that bear fruit with the seed in it." And it was so. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the dome of the sky." God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures of every kind, cattle and creeping things and wild animals of the earth of every kind." And it was so. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness." And God saw everything that God had made, and indeed, it was very good.